Particular, Professor Wagner's presentation, because I've heard from a lot of people it's made a difference, and it's the best description I've ever heard of how to succeed on law school essay exams.
And also, I've attended some of these seminars, and I myself really want to push a few of them, and Professor Hicks and Professor Wagner really go into more detail, but a few of the tips that they've given before is make sure you eat right. Law school needs to have a balance, and it's hard your very first year to understand this, but it's so important that you don't even realize it, and yet it can make a world of difference when it comes down to exam taking. So you have here to eat right, get enough sleep, study in separate places, and not in your bedroom or your kitchen. There's some, Professor Hicks goes into it and how the dynamic in studying in a place just for studying helps out, and also picking different spots to kind of rotate it so you don't get comfortable in one certain place. So, you know, different coffee shops or different parts of the library here on campus, different rooms. First year students might really find this difficult, but in my opinion, take one night a week and at least go out and do something not school related. You might not be able to do it in the winters, but in the summer, take a chance out and get to see Michigan. Places like Grand Haven, Grand Rapids, and Mackinac Island. There are plenty of parks and lakes that you can visit. In the summer, my favorite thing was Blues on the Square, to the next event. Enjoy and make memories of your time here. Don't let every memory be of you in the Cooley Library. It's hard, it really is. I remember my first year, and Crystal was lived with me here in Michigan for like our first term and a half, and I was always at the library because I felt like I just had to be there and just study and read. And as time goes on, you become more efficient in your reading and your note-taking, so you do have more time, but just make a concentrated effort in trying to not make every memory at the Cooley Library. Strike a balance. Professor Hicks has said, law school is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And third, the reason you came to law school was to become a lawyer. After law school, you're going to find that you're going to need a job as a lawyer. So the following tips should not be your main focus while in law school, but they should be a constant whisper in the back of your head. Externships are a great key in the door. However, I've heard too many of my friends that depend on the externship site for a job. And when the externship's over, for whatever reason, sometimes you're left empty-handed. So don't necessarily bank on your externship. Throw your net out a little bit broader and continue to network. Cooley has a great database for firms across the country that have hosted externship sites before. That's a great way to find your externship, but if you can, challenge yourself and try to find one for yourself. Being that there's the process of finding your own externship, you get to network with other firms that, let's say, you might not get an externship at, but at least you've made a contact with them. These are people you can follow up with later for jobs. Networking is key. Because we're all concerned with studying for finals, here are a few things that I did while in school that helped me in my externship search and job search. Most took very little effort, if at all. And this is because we're all concentrating on getting good grades, right? Which should be the main focus. But these are just little things you can do on your break or throughout the school year that won't take much time. Down at the Cooley Library, I don't know if they still have them, they have these postcards, have like the picture of the Temple building. So what I would do, my old contacts from back home, at least once a term, I'd send them all a card saying, hey, thanks for all your support over the past year or so. I'm still doing well in law school. I'm going back on break between these 2 weeks, and I'd like to grab lunch with you. Just send it. You're not gonna, most times you're not gonna get anything back, but they get it when you go back. One of my other tips is go in between 2 weeks, make it, just during the afternoon when all your friends and family are working. Have time, instead of just wasting time watching TV, or doing, just sitting around, go try to follow up on those contacts. Maintain a business card portfolio. On the back of each card, write down something specific you talked to about that with that person, and just keep on following up on that. Also, around the holidays, it's not going to cost much. Buy a pack of Christmas cards, or maybe just those blank Thanksgiving cards, whatever the holiday is, and just send a card. You keep on. The thing is to maintain contact with these people out there in the workforce, that if they can't get you a job, they'll know somebody that will give you a job, or at least give you the chance to prove yourself. One thing that I recently came to contact with that really helped me out was call your local county bar association. Most times you have to be, you have to have your bar card to become an actual member. But I called and asked, I said, look, I'm coming up to be a law graduate, I'm gonna have all this time before I take the bar. This is for everyone who's in their second, third year. Call your local county bar association. Sometimes they can list you as an inactive member. And so you'll be put on their emailing list, and you'll get to know all the functions they're gonna be at, and you can volunteer. Nobody's gonna turn down free help to volunteer for some of these events. And you get to network with local attorneys in your area. And also something that I learned working with the SBA, just the student groups, is every profit or every non-profit organization has a board. And most board members are either prominent business people in the area or attorneys. And so if you go back home, the best place to look where you can offer support and just help, free help, is my experience, a non-for-profit organization. And try to get integrated with their board, see if there's anything you can volunteer to do. Because a lot of these board, especially non-profit boards, don't have the money to pay their people, so they're always in need of help. And you being a law school graduate, JD candidate, they're gonna want your help, and they're gonna be connected with prominent people, business people in the area that can help you find jobs. Also, if that's still not your style, on your breaks, go down to the local district court and just sit in the courtroom. Attorneys will be waiting to present their cases, and just introduce yourself. Print out business cards with a name on it. Put just simple business cards. Put JD candidate. Put your email address on there, contact phone number, your cell phone number. Something that might be a little bit more ambitious is find out political officials in your area, especially around election time, and volunteer, because they're also equally connected with attorneys. And if that's still not your style, then it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard, because you need to be assertive, and you need to want it. And right now, let's be honest, the economy's rough. And finding a job is rough, no matter what profession you're in. And so you're really going to want it. It's going to take these extra steps to get out of it. And these are steps that you can start your first day in law school. And actually, if you had the mindset before law school to start networking, that's really going to help you out. But the thing is to continue through law school. There are plenty of things you can do to engage your local legal community. Mailing out postcards and hanging out at the district courthouse. These are options for you to network. You can't expect to finish law school the next day. A lawyer from your area is going to offer you a six-figure job. It's up to you. One, don't lose focus on your studies, but two, don't forget that networking starts the day you start law school. Law school is tough. Like I said, the economy is tough, but it is possible. And I'm almost embarrassed to say this, but I say this not to promote myself, or just, I'm having a hard time even just saying it, but I've been really blessed with the fact that I received, in addition to my externship site, I received 3 other job offers. So altogether, I received 4 job offers. And it was a matter of networking from the beginning. And not this intense networking, but just this constant networking. And you know, job offers range from oil and gas to tax and bankruptcy. My externship site in Houston, which was a personal injury. And right now, I'm actually really blessed to have a job. I'm working at the city attorney's office in McAllen. And so all these things really do help you out. So, you know, we've covered what you can do with law school. Alex and I hopefully have covered, you know, tips to succeed even after law school. And with that, I'd like to just share one of my favorite poems. It's not girly or romantic or anything. Hopefully it will encourage and inspire you. It's by W.E. Henley. It's called Invictus. It says, out of the night that covers me, black as a pit, from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but I'm bowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears, looms but the horror and the shade. And yet the menace of the years shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. Thanks.
We've got a little time left. I'm going to open up just general questions for these guys. We won't make them stand up in the front or anything, but any other questions for them, feel free. That's what they're here for. They know more than I do, so.
How does it feel, Richard?
It feels good.
One more speech.
Hi, I'm Carmen Clutterberry. I'm the VP of Public Relations for this group. This term, I was a secretary last term. I started out with Victor, who got me on board. I served in the Army Reserves while I was in school. I just wanted to tell you a bit about the group last year, some of the events we did, and then some of the upcoming ones for this term. Group events that we did last term, we had a basketball game at the end of, I think, the spring term. And that was the Pistons. We got together as a group. It was kind of a break from studying. They did the shooting range last term, and we're going to be doing that again this fall, which that's been a big, big event that everyone's really excited about getting involved in. Two of the biggest ones that we do are care packages to the troops. We try to do that every term. And this term, we are going to try to get some Boy Scouts from the local area together to help put those packages together. But if anyone has addresses of friends, family that is serving, if you want to send that to us, we do try to send it to people that you do know that are over there. And the Veterans Program, which is the court program, they match you. And this is for if you have been in the service. They match you with a veteran that's going through court proceedings. So that applies. We do get involved with that in this group. And the Yellow Ribbon Program is one of the big ones that we do. And we're going to be doing that too.
Have this week.
Okay.
The week of Veterans Day.
We'll have an announcement for that, but we're making the ribbons, and then some of the professors.
7th through the 10th.
7th through the 10th week.
The fundraiser.
But some of the professors will give you a pass if you have a yellow ribbon on for support of that day. I just want to put out there that our group is built like a unit. We're here to support each other through studying, and we have like outline banks, and you can get with an upper termer and study with them, and they give you advice just like these two guys did, the tips that they got through. But one of the biggest things is having that commitment to a group, and being from the military, when you have that person that's gone through this before, and you know that they're going through the same thing, or they've gone through the same thing, it's really, really helpful. And I was in Germany this summer with JAG working, and I was in an accident, and I got a lot of support from this group, and I wasn't even here, but it's like having a family. So I invite you guys to join, come and see all of our events.
Thank you.
All these cards.
Yeah, so now what you all are really waiting for. Just take your card and fold it in half.
We didn't, you just said that you took it before.
I'd like everybody to give your attention to Professor Hicks. He's going to share a few words maybe with his own.
Oh, that's Professor Hicks. And Wayne is not a third year, he's a first year for the third time. We have this sort of relationship, actually. So don't pull the knife next time. In any event, it's difficult, really, to add much to what both other speakers have said today. Two very wise gentlemen, wisdom-born experience, which frankly can sometimes be the hardest to get, but by far the most valuable. I would just say that the key is commitment. The key is belief in yourself, but the key is remembering that you are not an island. Yeah, you got to have that commitment and belief in yourself, but if you're trying to do it all on your own, particularly with some of the issues that this group uniquely faces, it may not work out for you. All right? Do reach out and have a support network. Do keep balance in your life. Do keep in touch with other people, your fellow students, professors, to do these little checks. Am I on the right track? Am I on the right track in my behavior? Am I on the right track analytically with the work? Okay? If you do that, I think things will work out. What Victor did, Victor and I spent a lot of time, relatively speaking, talking together, and I wasn't aware even of all the networking things that he's done. Great advice. That's, get on somebody's radar, stay on somebody's radar. The phrase that I would use, I kind of came upon this phrase when it occurred to me what a friend of mine did and what made him successful. He was politely persistent. And I would say that would describe what Victor did. He had a plan, he did it in a really organized way. He stuck to it, but it's not in your face all the time. People aren't going to respond real well to that. But what people love is seeing someone who is proactive, politely persistent. Those of you who've had me as a student know that we can't necessarily reach out and spend the same amount of time outside class with everybody. So who is it who gets my time? Frankly, it's the people who are politely persistent. As I said to Dan, I owe him an email. I also owe Carmen one. As soon as exams are over, I'll get you next week.